Hey, what's up guys, it's Marsleaf here, back to do a Kane's Wrath VOD, and today with me I have a co-caster who goes by the name of Phoenix. Hey, what's up Phoenix? How's it going?
What's up?
Yep.
I'm doing pretty good.
That's cool.
And hopefully we're gonna have a good game here with bike-RUsh and TiberianFuture.
Yeah, indeed. Those are the players. So I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and from there the game should start and you should unpause it, okay? So 3,
Alrighty.
2, 1, go. Okay? So
Alright.
down at the bottom we have bike-RUsh+ownz playing as the red Scrin. Bike obviously always choosing red for some reason, probably because that color stands out the most on the mini-map, which is goddamn awful in this game. And up in the top, who do we have?
We have TiberianFuture as the purple nod player.
Indeed he is, and he seems like he's going for one engineer. Down in the south we have bike-RUsh+ownz also going for an assimilator, but doesn't seem like both players are going to be contesting the same spike. bike-RUsh going for the left hand spike, while his opponent TibFuture going for the right hand spike.
I feel like Bike spent a lot of money on buzzers. Made at least 6.
I mean, I believe it was the matchup was actually pre-selected, as both the factions did show up on the player status screen. So it couldn't have been a random versus random matchup. They must have known each other's factions.
No, actually Superbad uploaded the replay, so it's possible.
It's possible.
That it is a random v random.
Very possible.
I would think.
It could be. But it seems like both players will capture their spikes without any problem whatsoever. TibFuture in the top, cleaning up some of the buzzers, but as bike-RUsh drafted so many buzzer scouts, I don't think that TibFuture is going to be able to anti-scout this Operation Center rush, which he's going for. But has bike-RUsh scouted it? Here we go. We've got a buzzer coming to the base of TibFuture. Sorry, he's going to scout this Operation Center well in advance, so he has ample time to counter this flame tank and train seekers or what have you.
Yeah, and luckily it's just a flame tank right now at least.
Yeah, he's
yep, no reckoner.
No reckoner, which is surprising. I mean, you would have thought you go for a reckoner as you get a black hand squad from selling that operation center. I see no reason why you shouldn't go for a reckoner, as that black hand squad will be rendered pretty useless at the moment.
Yeah, if it was GDI or something, like if he needed to clear out bunkers, then maybe. But he's versus Scrin, so he should have gotten Reckoner, I think.
Yeah, I do think so as well. TibFuture still nonetheless going to be going for a flame tank. He's going to burn down this spike here. That spike.
Oh, look what Bike's doing.
What is Bike?
Doing something interesting. He's going for air.
He's going for air? Oh my god, he's going for air. This is a tactic I really like to do against Black Hand, but against Nord, I don't honestly see the reason for it. This is not going to go so well for Bike, I don't think, as the Harvesters are stealthed and will be completely safe against those Storm Riders unless he can get some stealth detection out. But they will be able to take care of this flame tank, although he does not have enough Storm Riders on the field to DPS this flame tank down. Is going to be close indeed. Can bike-RUsh take out this flame tank before it gets too close into his base and destroy a refinery? I definitely do think so, as the flame tank is now taking some shots by the Storm Riders, doing a surprising amount of damage, those Storm Riders, to the flame tank. And I don't think he's going to get a single structure there, the flame tank going down, not causing any damage, although TibFuture has scouted the Storm Riders.
Yeah, and it looks like Bike's only went for 3 Storm Riders? No, 4. And he sold his second airfield.
Yeah, selling his second airfield, as TibFuture has scouted these 4 Storm Riders. He's probably wanting TibFuture to overspend on anti-air so he can go for something like Mechapedes perhaps, but he may be just going for an eco at the moment. He needs to watch his Storm Riders. Poor micro there by Bike. He's going to lose 2 Storm Riders. One of the Storm Rider, a second one on the very low red health there, will narrowly escape those Bike buggies.
Yeah, now what this did is, I think it put Bike behind. If he just countered it with a Seeker tank or 2.
Certainly did.
But instead, he overspent, so now he's behind.
Yeah, he's really far behind. And as this is 1.02 plus, the Storm Riders do not have that damage bonus bug where they do additional damage to bikes and most anti-air. units. So that's too bad for bike-RUsh. Meanwhile, we do have bike-RUsh, who's probably going to go for his first refinery at the second field here, as his Tiberian field at home is rapidly depleting. The bike buggy will contain him for the meantime. The Storm Riders could be doing some vital scouting for bike-RUsh, although he's going to keep them at home to defend off against these bike buggies. And as you said, I don't think that bike-RUsh I think that bike-RUsh definitely did overspend there with the Storm Riders.
Yeah. Go to the left-hand side of the screen.
Yeah.
Bike's third expansion, or Tiberian Field's third expansion.
Oh, yes.
He's actually got a flame tank there.
I see.
Sneaking around.
And I don't think bike-RUsh has seen that flame tank, so perhaps TibFuture can do some more damage to bike-RUsh here and sneak that flame tank into the
and
base.
he's distracting him with his bikes and buggies, so I'll keep him occupied while the flame tank rolls in.
And also while he ecos up. His eco's already looking pretty good. bike-RUsh going for the tier 3 before placing his refinery. This is a really strange build order.
I don't think I like that.
No. He should have placed that refinery in advance before going for the tier 3. But still, what can bike-RUsh accomplish here? He may lose both of these Storm Riders to the bikes. He's going to get some scouting information off. He will know now that he is well far behind of TibFuture. And what is he going to do? He's going to go for Mechapedes, I assume. He's got 3 out in the field now. And both the Storm Riders do get cleaned up. So yeah, we've got the flame tank in the bottom, which will take out the upgraded power plant, but the Mechapedes will be able to readily deal with that flame tank. So I don't know. This really.
Yep. Here comes the bikes. Just a mass of them.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to TibFuture's poor micromanagement with those bikes. He's going to have to lose a ton of them to these Mechapedes, because really that's bike's only hopes of getting back into this economically. I mean, he does have his second ref up already, so it's not that too bad for him. And the MCV of TibFuture will make its way towards the third field, his third expansion field, getting shot up there by the Mechapedes. And I think that bike-RUsh should be going for his third base now. He's sending his drone ship towards that base now. He's got some Devour tanks to defend off against some potential bikes, but the bikes are at home defending against these Mechapedes. And TibFuture is contained.
Is TibFuture gonna build something, or is he just gonna stay there?
Well, he does have his tier 3 up. He can go for some obelisks, I guess. It's gonna come down.
I'm wondering if he goes for tier 4 or his Redeemer hub.
But at the moment, I see him just going for Tib Core.
Oh, but yeah, look at all his harvesters. He got all of his harvesters to stop.
Yeah, that is
harvesting. Really
unnecessary.
So that's good for bike.
At least he has delayed TibFuture's economy. And honestly do not think that TibFuture has enough bikes to destroy these Mechapedes. But maybe with a Tib Core, although if those Mechapedes show the rear of themselves, then of course those bikes will get slaughtered without causing too much damage. Using the phase, so bike able to save those Mechapedes. And meanwhile, TibFuture going to be expanding. bike-RUsh has already deployed his drone ship, so now, I mean, despite the failed Storm Rider opening, he's actually looking to be ahead of TibFuture somehow, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think it's because the mechas contained them, and TibFuture spent a lot of money on those bike buggies, and bike only spent a few. He only got dev tanks and a few seekers to defend it.
That's true.
And that's all he needed.
Yep. And the bike buggies pretty poor against the dev tanks, although they can overwhelm the dev tanks fairly easily. Where are the dev tanks? Speaking of dev tanks, do you know where they are? Okay, they're on that field there. With 2 or so tripods. Stealth tanks out now for TibFuture, which is the ideal counter to the Mechapedes. He should really be going for the Mechapedes instead. We're going for the harvesters. bike-RUsh already has a storm column queue, drops it immediately, dropping that stealth tank instantly there. And 2 harvesters for the price of 1 stealth tank, none can argue, is a good trade-off.
Yeah, but at this stage of the game, bike has a lot of harvesters. I think it'd be more about his structures that really mattered.
Yeah.
Because.
But if he loses
But I mean, every little bit counts.
If he loses 4 harvesters, then he's going to be suffering from that. He's got 4 harvesters now. Actually, no, he's got 3 additional harvesters in the bottom field, which I did not see. So he is still fine. He's still got more than enough harvesters. But TibFuture, he's not taking any losses. He's destroying harvesters. But the worst part for bike-RUsh is that he is not losing anything. TibFuture will escape with most of his bike buggies intact, which is unfortunate for Bike.
Yeah. But as you can see, Bike has 2. Oh, look at this.
I know.
A mass bikes coming from the top, and still thinks
and
to Bike's expansion.
Do you think that 1 tripod and 1 Devour tank will take care of that? I honestly do not think so. It's going to get overwhelmed. That's it. It's going to be the end of those Tibcore bikes. The stealth tank not getting crushed there, so that's nice micro there by TibFuture, not sacrificing that stealth tank for no reason. And a lot of 2-sided engagements in this game. TibFuture doing some nice work, splitting his bikes up, trying to distract bike-RUsh while picking off at the more vulnerable areas of his base. But bike-RUsh also great at multitasking, able to defend off against this 2-sided attack.
And if you notice, TibFuture is just now moving his harvesters to his 3rd expansion.
Oh, okay.
While Bike's had them for a while.
Yeah, he must have spent a long time micromanaging there, forgetting his harvesters and economy. So that would have helped bike-RUsh help him to.
But just look at those harvesters that TibFuture has.
They're gonna bug up.
A ton of them.
A lot of them are actually doing nothing, which is painful to watch. I think he can afford.
He should probably send some to his 2nd expansion ref, since they're just lining up at the moment.
Yeah, that's a good, valid point. If he done that, then he could also clean up some of the tip that's on those fields there.
Yeah.
But for bike-RUsh, he's cleaned up the bike buggies, and I think he is no longer being threatened by TibFuture. TibFuture, he's going for avatars, so he's transitioning into avatars. I'd imagine he'd be going for a Redeemer or maybe a 1-click, because the refineries of bike-RUsh are really close together. I think they could be quite vulnerable to a Catalyst missile. What do you say? Do you think those are too close together?
Yeah, that's close.
Yep.
It's like, it's borderline. They either lose them both or you lose one. It's just really close.
Yeah. So I
can't really tell.
I think TibFuture, if he saw that, he could go for his Tib Chem plant and take out both those refineries. I do not think bike-RUsh will be happy about that. His own tricks being used against him.
Yeah. He's going for a Redeemer, which is a good idea, especially versus mass tripods.
That is true. He could go for some Vertigo bombers as well, because, you know, those are also very good against annihilated tripods. The power of the annihilated tripods needs to be met with those air units, as the avatars are not up to the task of beating these annihilated tripods in a one-on-one engagement.
Yeah, that's why a solid rage gen could really do some damage, and then the avatars and Redeemer.
It would take the shield off them, which is certainly quite helpful.
Yeah.
But bike-RUsh doing some nice harassment here with the Mechapedes. He's going to deny some scouting, but TibFuture getting a nice headshot off there on that tripod. And now it's bike-RUsh who has TibFuture contained. So the tides have changed. And here we got TibFuture, not TibFuture, bike-RUsh going to be following this up with some tripods up in the north. So he's going to be doing a 2-sided engagement as well, as we saw TibFuture do moments ago. Getting those power plants there, that one barely surviving. And we have the Redeemer out, just used the Rage Gen, and those tripods, as you said, took a colossal sum of damage. Losing both of those tripods there. So TibFuture has some husk to reclaim. bike-RUsh may be able to take them out with the Seekers here. That's nice work. And meanwhile, what do we have happening?
In Bike's 2nd expansion, we have some bike buggy harassment with the stealth tank.
Yeah, I can see.
Oh, you might be able to take out the tech.
Yeah, I mean the tech's there. It's only got one lightning spike. With the help with the aid of the stealth tank, you'll be able to easily take care of it, even EMPs it. But bike-RUsh using the stasis shield there to defend against his tech center. Knowing Bike, he would already have one queued, because that's just how he plays. He often thinks ahead, while most players do
Good
not.
idea.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah, as you can see, he's already working on another one, despite that one not going down just yet. But he's gonna repair it with an assimilator, and there we go. I mean, TibFuture, he didn't get much. He forced the use of the stasis shield, which could be great for him if he attacks right now with his Redeemer, because it won't get stasis.
But he only has one Redeemer. Or where are his avatars?
Up in the top.
They're back at base.
You know, I think...
Yeah, this is bad. This is risky.
Yep. They're too separated from the Redeemer. The Redeemer should really be with the avatars. The Redeemer by itself is not going to fare too well against these tripods. He needs to use the Rage Gen. Uses the Rage Gen right now, but the tripods are focusing down the disintegrators when really he wanted those to be going for the tripods, and Bike forgetting to move this tripod into EMP range. This Redeemer may escape here. Where are the avatars? The avatars are coming to aid this Redeemer, but will the Redeemer make it? I don't know. What do you say?
I don't know, but TiberianFuture will be fine with the aid of the avatars and Obelisk.
But the Redeemer does go down, unfortunately, for TibFuture, but
yeah,
the avatars have arrived.
Overall, I think that was bad from TibFuture's part.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I honestly think that bike-RUsh has enough tripods there to take on those avatars as well, but perhaps he is not willing to risk it. He probably got an Obelisk of Light Queued as well, so bike-RUsh doesn't want to quite risk that.
Yeah.
Having said that though, TibFuture has more Tiberium to harvest than bike-RUsh does. Way more in fact, because his top Tiberium fields have Tib regrowing. They'll almost be a fully regrown Tiberium field. So TibFuture's not dry on Tiberium. bike-RUsh, he does have the Rift Gen up, so if he can somehow survive for 4 minutes, which is not very long actually, then he'll have a super weapon at his disposal. Hexapod now out on the field. So are we going to see some crazy hexalaming? Most likely, but hopefully not too much.
Yeah, and he's going for his commando, so this is possible.
Yeah, he's going for another commando. TibFuture now, what is he going to go? He should go for some EMP cores. He's already researched his EMP coils. He's researched every single upgrade from his tech lab. And there is a tripod husk up there, so I'm not sure what Bike's going to do. He's probably going to take that out of his Hexapod and prevent TibFuture from capturing it. TibFuture got a lot of avatars.
You can teleport units with the Scrin Mastermind, right?
Yeah.
Wait, yeah. I think Bike's about to teleport an engineer to his husk up top.
Oh yeah, he's got his Mastermind on the field, and the assimilator is chilling by the warp chasm, so he's probably going to teleport that right now, and there it goes, just vanishes and appears right in the top here. So a free tripod there for TibFuture. TibFuture really needs to push bike-RUsh because he does not want to allow that Rift Gen to go off. As
if you can see, TibFuture actually uses Minefield up top, which I think was really a huge waste.
Yeah, he could have used that to defend, to attack this Annihilator Tripod army. This Annihilator Tripod army, if it can
you should use it in a big engagement,
survive the Rage Gen, it's all going to come down to the Rage Gen. How good can TibFuture make this Rage Gen on these Annihilator Tripods? I can see it doing a huge amount of damage if bike-RUsh doesn't force fire the ground with his tripods in time.
And Bike's attacking with his Hexapod up top.
Yeah, I can see that. I wonder if he's going to teleport that back to defend with his Mastermind. Where is the Mastermind? Do you know?
Oh, I think he put it in the Hexapod actually.
But he had another one, I'm pretty sure he did, unless he didn't. He may have lost it somehow. I wasn't keeping an eye on that Mastermind there. Oh, TibFuture does have Venoms on the field, so I think we can assume that those Venoms taken it out, and the Venoms getting wasted to that Storm Column, unfortunately for TibFuture.
If TibFuture raged, then that Hexapod, the phase wouldn't have worked, and he would have taken it out.
Yeah, that's very true indeed. But bike-RUsh luckily able to use the phase field before that Redeemer had a chance to prevent that from happening, and accidentally calling in the carrier, which is kind of weird.
I think that was a misclick.
Oh, obviously. Wouldn't be a strategic decision in that case to use it.
Unless he's doing some kind of scouting.
Yeah, you can do scouting, but I don't think that is a selectable transport. He will get some scouting information off the way it's going to leave the map.
Oh, and he teleports it just in time. That was too close.
And yeah, the Hexapod here gets teleported. We may be behind by a few seconds, so I'm going to pause the game for a second.
Alright.
Okay. Right. Oh, actually, if you pause the game, where are you right now?
Where am I? Bike's at 48 seconds till the rift generator for me.
Okay, 48 seconds. So if you pause your game, what second are you at
I'm
right
at 42 now? 42.
Right, 42. Okay, so I'll wait for this to go to 42. Right, okay, unpause.
Right.
I don't know how that happened, how you managed to get ahead of me. But still, nonetheless, we have Vertigo Bombers out on the field for TiberianFuture. Now, I wonder how much damage he's going to be able to do with those. bike-RUsh has tons and tons of tripods, but nothing in the form of anti-air. So, TiberianFuture making a smart decision there, going for the Vertigos. Meanwhile, what is happening?
And he damages 3 tripods, but he doesn't kill any.
Yeah, the problem though
Those
for
Vertigos.
TiberianFuture is that he just revealed that he has Vertigo. So, bike-RUsh now, he'll be probably going for Mechapede or maybe Seekers. Although Seekers, in my opinion, they don't have much in the form of DPS. The Rift Gen is done though. And I wonder what bike-RUsh is going to use. What is he going to target with the Rift Generator? It's going to be a difficult question to answer. You could go for the avatars. I'd imagine he'd be going for the avatars, but no, going instead for the Vertigos. He gets 4 Vertigo Bombers. Ooh. That could be much worse for TiberianFuture though. He's going to be teleporting in the Hexapod. And what can this Hexapod do? He could go for the construction guard.
Kill the MCV.
Yeah, definitely go for the MCV. But the Raider Buggies are coming in here. He may be able to save this MCV. Actually, no, the MCV.
Oh, he steals it.
He steals it. Okay, so scratch that. And teleports the Hexapod before it gets EMP'd there. So bike-RUsh.
That was good.
Doing some.
That was quick.
Quick micro there, actually. Using the Rift Generator in conjunction with the wormhole is definitely going to be quite frustrating for TiberianFuture. He's lost his Vertigos, which he'll be sad to lose. But he does have avatars and the Redeemer still on the field. He hasn't used the Race Gen yet, and this Redeemer could go for the Growth Accelerator. That'll go down in a split second there, although I should think that bike-RUsh knows there's a Redeemer there, as the Redeemer is the only unit capable of crushing Scrin harvesters, if you did not know. So what else is happening?
Or Nod.
Yeah,
right?
Of course, for Nod.
Yeah.
But bike-RUsh not losing any of his forces. He's managed to teleport his Hexapod away from the danger of those Raider Buggies. And what is TiberianFuture doing? He's got a flamethrower on two of those avatars, so he could use those avatars as a huge, more advanced version of the flame tank. And
yeah, and he's also got stealth buggies and a huge Tiberian field on his second expansion.
Yeah, that's going to be problematic for bike-RUsh here. TiberianFuture doing a good job in regrowing his tib fields by far. bike-RUsh, on the other hand, he's harvesting the seeds, the Tiberium seeds on his fields, not allowing the field to multiply and regrow. This is going to work to TiberianFuture's benefit here, as he's going to have so much Tiberium at his disposal. bike-RUsh, he's got the rift still up and running. 4 minutes to go. Oh my god, that was such a rift, such a rage generator there, affecting all of those tripods.
And a one click.
And a one click.
Oh, this is going to be bad.
It's going to be so bad for Tib.
And he gets crushed.
And he gets crushed. Oh my god. He crushes 2 tripods. He uses the Buzzer Storm to try and reveal the Redeemer, but
he's going the wrong way.
He's going the wrong way.
Yep.
Oh man, that was so bad for...
And he's still crushing.
Oh wow, this Redeemer will be so close to going veteran. I reckon one more harvester. There it goes. And now he should stop these assimilators. He gets both of the assimilators here. The Redeemer, there's no tripods here. The tripods are out of position. The Redeemer is going to come into the base. This Redeemer doing so much damage. And what is he doing? He's attacking the Mastermind. He should go in towards the safety of these structures here. Force bike-RUsh to sell them. And will this Redeemer escape? honestly do not think so. TibFuture using the one clicks here. We have the avatars marching in from the top of the map, using the rage gen once again. I did not know the rage gen recharges that fast. Blimey. And wow, everything just going on here right now. And the Redeemer, it can crush the drone ship, but the tripod just managing to EMP it before that happens there. And oh my god, bike-RUsh just lost his entire army versus one Redeemer. That, I admit, is pretty hilarious. But there are so many tripod husks here for bike-RUsh, so if TibFuture isn't going to end the game right now, he's probably going to lose this game, as there is so many husks for him to claim and capture. And bike-RUsh is going to go for all of those husks. There's at least 10 or so husks there. And he will probably be working on a
Should he get his eco or should he get the husk first?
I think.
How much money does he have?
I honestly think he should go for the husk. But let's check out his eco right now. He's got 2 grand, 2.8 grand. So he's probably going to go for an all-in right now. He's got no spikes. His only way of earning income is by getting kills with his Hexapod. So I guess that's his only way of making a refinery now. And he has to end the game right now with his Hexapod. Meanwhile, we have TibFuture going for Venoms. He was probably looking to clean out the husks, but as the husks have all been captured, those Venoms are not going to be quite useful. They will be able to take care of the Storm Riders at least, so that's one thing. The Hexapod does have anti-air. What is TibFuture going to go for? He's going to go for his Redeemer, but it's going to take more than a Redeemer to take on these tripods with the aid of the Hexapod. What do you say is going to be the outcome of this battle here?
It's going to be close. I don't know. The thing is that Future has more structures, he has more eco.
That is true.
The bike has the army at the moment.
And of course the laser Venoms are actually pretty ownage against these Storm Riders. I believe they're also faster, or I'm probably mistaken there. The Storm Riders are probably faster than the Venoms. But as we can see, bike-RUsh able to claim 2 avatars. And the Redeemer here, TibFuture has to make the full use of this Redeemer. He needs to go for the Rage Gen, use the Rage right there. And the tripods will briefly attack their own kin, but not the best rage gen in the world. He does manage to drop one single tripod there. The Redeemer is not stealth, so bike-RUsh can actually EMP this Redeemer. There's nothing to stop him from doing that. Does TibFuture have his MCV? He's got an MCV out in the field, so he can place tier 3 base defenses, especially as he has his tech lab still up and operational. 4 Storm Riders still remain, so where are those Venoms, do you know? Where they have gotten to?
Yeah, they were at his base raiding, and now he might have. Oh, they're back at TibFuture's base.
But tell me, why is TibFuture continuing to build Venoms? You would have thought you go for like EMP Raider buggies. You know what?
I really don't know. He has Tib Course, so he should be able to defend the Storm Riders pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, if he went for mass EMP Raider buggies and EMP'd those tripods, he would be able to crush every single one of them with the Redeemer rather.
Yeah, and he'd have EMP as well.
But there is just so many tripods and avatars for bike-RUsh+ownz. bike-RUsh+ownz obviously getting enough funds to build an extractor, obviously because of this Hexapod here, gives money to you. And once again we have TibFuture, who has able to regrow his Tiberian field here to some extent. He's got quite a few harvesters remaining. He's got some Venoms to do some mild harassment to bike-RUsh. bike-RUsh has not researched the plasma missile batteries, to the delight of a bike-RUsh+ownz, of not bike-RUsh+ownz but TibFuture. TibFuture going for a secret shrine. And right now we have a power plant getting picked off by Storm Riders of bike-RUsh, but those will get quickly cleaned up there by the Venoms. The Venoms serving their purpose, killing all those Storm Riders. Just one remaining now for bike-RUsh+ownz.
Yeah. And comes the Redeemer at the bottom for TibFuture.
Oh yes, it's stealthed. And the Hexapod, I think he has a hunch that it's there.
But yeah, he might have saw it get stealth or something.
I mean, of course you can hear it if you've got your music turned off, but you know, knowing bike-RUsh, he's always playing with like music turned on to max, so he's not going to be able to hear that Redeemer. And what is he going to go for? I mean, he could go for the drone platform. If he went for the drone platform, Bike would have no more build. He will not have...
But he's losing his operation, which is
kind of bad.
Which might be good because he has venoms.
I mean, if I was TiberianFuture right now, I'd go for the drone platform, because if bike-RUsh loses that, he's going to have no way to recover. While TiberianFuture, he could go for like a mass infantry spam. He's getting the upgrades on his secret shrine. He's already got some infantry out on the field, so he can defend against these tripods with infantry. But the Redeemer deciding to retreat. He could go for a rage actually here and destroy, well, actually cripple some of those avatars and tripods. The Venom's still out on the field, so it's nice to see that TiberianFuture has not wasted those Venoms on these plasma missile batteries. And this game's still going on. No clear winner has been decided just as of yet, although it could come down to the next few moments here. And again, another wasted mine drop by TiberianFuture. Those mines will get revealed by the Seeker, which bike-RUsh has trained from his warp sphere here, able to get a warp sphere up. So he'll have stealth detection.
But to be fair, that mine drop was kind of tough to time since it's so far away.
Yeah.
To be fair.
And he's gonna
the first one was a complete waste, though, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. And he's gonna get the Seeker, so bike-RUsh no longer has stealth detection. He cannot detect this Redeemer. This Redeemer is gonna be stealthed once again. Those Venoms just have to ensure that no more Seekers are on the way to detect the Redeemer, and this Redeemer should be okay and safe to retreat. And those tripods.
Now Bike actually has the fields regrowing instead of TiberianFuture.
Yeah.
So the table's upturned here.
Yeah, I guess so. Not often do you see games go like this. And the super weapon has been sold off by bike-RUsh. So bike-RUsh, I guess that probably does explain how he had enough funds to recover, selling that super weapon there. And we got so many tripods here and avatars. I mean,
ooh, one click. That's gotta hurt.
The only thing that's preventing bike-RUsh from pushing is the threat of that Redeemer. He does not want his tripods to get crushed. Although if he loses one tripod to the crush, he could always force fire with another tripod and EMP that Redeemer. It's a trick that some of you may not know, but if you force fire the ground in front of the position where you think the Redeemer is, then it will in fact EMP that Redeemer if you're lucky. But another rage goes off. Again, I'm quite surprised at how fast that ability recharges. He's going to get some damage off on these units there, but all of his infantry getting crushed, and there is a Seeker that he has to take out here. If the Seeker runs too far,
there's another one click.
Yeah, I just saw that there. The catalyst, oh yeah, the tip vein just went off there. So I think once again you're a little bit ahead of me.
Yeah, I think the deal is since you're recording with fraps, it might slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's because my frame rate or your frame rate may drop while mine stays at 30. That could be the cause of it, but still, it's not a huge issue. And what do we have here? We got a lot of avatars and tripods still out for bike-RUsh. He's managed to keep those alive. I mean, TiberianFuture, he's probably going to go for mass infantry, seeing as there is only tier 3 walkers and mechs out in the field for bike-RUsh+ownz and nothing in the form of anti-infantry. The Hexapod is in some need of healing, but there is no corruptors. Only a warp sphere. That he can use the reconstructions drone support power to heal up his army. That wouldn't be a bad decision, in my opinion, to use those drones to heal those units up there in the south.
Yeah, because he's got a lot of units that are injured right now. Yeah, be a good idea, I think.
But TiberianFuture going to be pushing in with some rocket squads with the aid of the Venoms. If he's able to take out that plasma missile battery, then the Venoms can take out the Seekers, because of course the Seekers are pretty weak to gun damage. But the Redeemer, I'm guessing, has rage, and he's going to rage these units once again, which haven't been repaired since the last one, and he may get punished for it here. Going to lose 2 tripods. The Redeemer could stop and take out these 2 units here, which are in the severe res. The Hexapod coming in here, and this Redeemer, I mean, as we can see here, the walkers that remain are very, very, very wounded, and he could take those out with the Redeemer in one shot. The Hexapod has ranked up to veteran, and there is 3 walkers remaining here, but the Venoms are doing a good job taking out the Husks. bike-RUsh overspent slightly on assimilators, and those assimilators will be useless now, as he as bike-RUsh was not able to reclaim those husks, and this Seeker may get destroyed here. TibFuture doing the smart thing and taking out that Seeker so that Hexapod cannot take out the Redeemer. If, of course, that Hexapod is able to take out the Redeemer, then it's going to get a nice load of experience from it. And Vertigos, where did he get those Vertigos from? Going to be going for the Hexapod here. Doing a considerable amount of damage and a mine drop.
Another base. Yep.
So if TibFuture, if bike-RUsh goes into that minefield, then he's going to lose his Hexapod. But the Hexapod doing the teleport over to the Redeemer. And can this Redeemer escape the stealth detection radius of these Seekers? No, it cannot. And the Redeemer may go down here. The Hexapod will survive, but it has no corruptors there to heal it. So in the next bombing run, perhaps these Vertigo bombers can take out the Hexapod. Although, I don't know. I think it barely has enough health to withstand those 4 Vertigos.
I think it's gonna have enough. But,
it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. I'll tell you that for a fact. It's gonna be very, very close.
Yeah.
TibFuture could take out the Hexapod. Oh wow! He actually teleport.
Oh, that was smart.
That was a sick move there by TibFuture. Oh, actually getting a couple of those Seekers there with the Vertigo. So that was some clutch moves there by bike-RUsh.
Yep.
Able to save that Hexapod. And he's still got Tib. He's got many harvesters here. And TibFuture, he's got Venoms. He lost many of them. And he's just recovering now. He's got 4 Vertigos out on the field. Neither side has gone yet again for a super weapon. bike-RUsh, if he's able to secure this Tib, then he'll be looking in a very strong position, especially as before we saw him use the Overlord's Wrath there defensively.
Yeah.
Of course, that support power is always best used defensively, or else, you know, you're just going to be giving money to your opponent, which of course is probably more damaging to you than it is to him.
I guess it depends the situation.
It depends.
But in a long term, it definitely helps.
Yeah, it's better that support power being used in your own base.
Yeah.
But 2 obelisks on the field for TibFuture. Going to be taking out those Seekers there, and the Vertigo bombers, I assume, are going to be rearming themselves. Do we have another Redeemer out for TibFuture? Was he able to rebuild his Redeemer?
Yeah. Yep.
Where is it?
It's coming towards
yes,
the Hexapod.
I see it. Not bothering to put in an engineer in there, and luckily the Venom's able to take out those buzzers, and the Hexapod again going to escape from almost certain death. bike-RUsh, he could transfer some of his harvesters over to that Tiberian field right now. What should bike-RUsh do? I mean, if he's relying on his Hexapod right now, if that Hexapod goes down, he's going to most likely lose the game to Redeemer. Ooh. As he needs that armor out to withstand this Redeemer.
The Vertigos.
The Vertigo bomb.
They just bombed the Hexapod.
I know, I just saw that. And the Hexapod barely surviving. Unfortunately, it's going to get some healing up right now. So luckily bike-RUsh putting a commando in his Hexapod, saving that Hexapod for more than one time.
Yep. Usually you see that with GDI, but it's actually working out really well versus Nod.
Yeah.
Saved him quite a bit.
I don't often put a commando in my Hexapod versus Nod, because I'm very, very afraid of their stealthed raider buggies and anything that's stealthed. And that was a wasted catalyst missile. What did he really do there? He could have gone for the extractor. That would have been way more damaging for bike-RUsh if TibFuture had went for the extractor, because that's where he's getting his resources and income at the moment. The Redeemer here once again. I mean, what can it do here? It can probably go into the base and cause some minor amount of damage. He can go for the Seekers with this Redeemer if it's cloaked, but I don't think this Redeemer has been cloaked. TibFuture not cloaking this Redeemer. He's going to be trying to block himself with the structures of bike-RUsh. bike-RUsh will be forced to sell the structures here if he wants a line of sight on this Redeemer, but the Redeemer is going to be showing its rear armor towards this Hexapod, taking a lot of damage, and this Hexapod is going to get another nice large chunk of experience if it goes down to this Hexapod here, which it will most likely do. And getting a Seeker there and a Corrupted with the Vertigo, so TibFuture doing a fair amount of damage. Here comes, wow, where did he get the funds to build those bike buggies? He's going to be taking out this expansion here, but what matters for bike-RUsh is keeping a hold of this Tib field in the middle. And wow, this game is actually pretty good, I admit. So much action, and the sides it's been changing from one side's favor to another throughout this game.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of one clicks as well.
Yeah, and
at least 2 to 3 times we've seen the Tib ban.
Yeah, TibFuture, but it's justifiable if bike-RUsh teleports his Hexapod. I guess one does cancel out the other. And it does make for quite an entertaining game, especially as it's nice to always see the Kane's Wrath special effects, you know, the fireworks.
Ooh, look at TibFuture's base. Mike somehow stole his one click.
Oh, what? How did he get that? He must have sneaked an engineer into TibFuture's base somehow. There.
And he's one clicking the bikes.
Is he? Oh wow!
Yep, look.
That is something. He just one-clicked those bikes there, getting most of the bike buggies. The Hexapod going to elite, so it's going to have a ton of health. And these Vertigo bombers, they do have a place to land. I think they're just idling here. TibFuture could be definitely using them to bomb bike-RUsh. And my game lagging for some reason. I'm just going to restart. There we go. No idea why that was. Are you getting frame drops here, or is it just me?
I think it's just you.
Just me. Okay, it must be fraps for no reason. But this Hexapod will take out one of the Vertigo bombers with a second one. Oh, these two Vertigos are overlapping. He could get both of the Vertigo bombers, but bike-RUsh.
And he teleports and gets the third. That was good.
That was some nice moves there by bike-RUsh.
Yeah, bike-RUsh has been using this Hexapod really well, I must admit.
Yeah, better than I, and that's saying something. And this Hexapod here, I mean, I wouldn't imagine it's got far to go before it's a heroic Hexapod. Yeah. He's going to be coming to the base here. He's not going to find anything. He's not going to find EMP Raider buggies to destroy it. But we got some rocket squads here for TibFuture, and this harvester will get destroyed. There is only one harvester left for bike-RUsh. bike-RUsh, how?
He's losing his MCV.
He's going to lose his MCV. And this Hexapod here, it's getting it got hit by a minefield, but once again, TibFuture not making the most out of his minefields. I mean, I guess that one was on target, but bike-RUsh realizing that the Hexapod was in the middle of it, not moving it, and taking the full amount of damage that he could have done from there. Now at this point,
Bike's base is extremely vulnerable, because the Hexapod is all he really had to defend himself. We have Venoms attacking the drone ship right now.
I see, and the drone ship is airborne.
Yeah. So it's going to be taking more damage.
If you pause the game for a second...
so what do you think you should do? You think you should plan it, or do you think you should keep running in this situation?
Well, the drone ship doesn't take much damage from Venoms. It only takes damage from rockets, most amount of damage from rockets, but gun damage, it's not very much affected by that. But as you can see, it's taking a fair sum of damage here, and the Hexapod will be coming in to save it from these Venoms. It's probably better to leave the drone ship deployed if it's up against Venoms. But obviously the contrary if it's up against flame tanks, because you know the flame tanks can do nothing while it's airborne.
Yeah.
But an MCV out for TibFuture. He's probably going to go for the south here, these Tiberian fields. And the Redeemer. With a dual flame inside of it. bike-RUsh, he's only got 2 structures remaining in this game. That is all he has.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he knows that the Redeemer's there, since he's cloaked or stealth.
I definitely see it. And all TibFuture has to do now, I imagine, is just go for the remaining structures of bike-RUsh. He's got Tib here, and I imagine, I mean, he could go for the mass tib core bikes. That would counter both the drone platform and the and the reactor here. That reactor obviously out in the open. He does not want to forget about that, TibFuture. And the Venom being deployed for TibFuture. I guess that's quite smart, as the Hexapod cannot be in more than one place at a single given time. And these Venoms can take out this drone platform. He's going to get some shots off on it, but to be honest, I think the best thing to do is to go for some Tiberium core units.
Yeah, but the thing is,
that'll be more appropriate.
TibFuture's pretty much, he's in a good position right now, while Bike he's struggling. He only has his drone ship at the moment and a power plant.
Yeah, and I doubt he has enough funds to actually build anything from that drone platform. No, he's only got $600 in his bank, so he can only build a reactor. He's gonna instead unpack his MCV.
Oh.
And I mean, remember, the drone platform can get destroyed by the Redeemer. If TibFuture knows this, he can go for the headbutt here. He's gonna get the drone platform. Oh my god, he does, he gets it. And I think that could be Bike going down right here. He's most likely going to lose this last structure unless he has the reactor, which probably did get destroyed by the Venoms. Is he going to get it? Yes, he does. And bike-RUsh going down there.
That was a good game.
Wow, I'm quite speechless. Yeah, that was actually a really good game. Very much entertaining.
Some really sick micro from bike-RUsh and some good one-clicks and flanks from TibFuture.
Some good micro by... Definitely, but that micro in the end didn't work out for bike-RUsh. TibFuture coming out with a very nice victory indeed. That game going on for 45 minutes, so not a short game by any stretch of the imagination.
Not at all.
But it wasn't a boring one to watch, that's for sure. Really, some nice moves there by TibFuture. That Redeemer done so much damage. It must have crushed like 5 tripods and then went on the rampage in his base and destroyed most of the
as well as the rage generator, which did some crazy damage as well.
Yeah. Those cloaked Redeemers can be quite a nightmare to destroy, as we can see from that game. So if you want to pull anything from that game, be sure to have stealth detection with your army if you're up against a stealth Redeemer, because that can lay waste to all of your units if you take it on without any thought and unprepared. That rift gen of bike-RUsh, I'm not sure if it was a good idea of his to use that on 4 Vertigos. Just he may have been better for him to just wait and use it on perhaps the avatars, because I think the avatars would have done more damage.
I think he could have won that actually. I mean, at that point in time, if he got the avatars and attack with his tripods.
Yeah, I mean, he just needed to wait. He needed to wait until TibFuture showed up with his avatars and Redeemer. Perhaps he could have gotten both for the Rift Gen and finished off the Redeemer with the Hexapod. That would have been a good way to end that game.
But
still, nonetheless, that was a good game. Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I was gonna say Bike had some really crazy moves that game. It just shows why he's an expert, to be honest. Most players wouldn't have played that well in that situation.
No, I mean, he knows how to survive. As you can see by the resources, bike-RUsh getting more resources in that game, but TiberianFuture, since he allowed his tip field to regrow, that put him in the lead during the late game. And I think that's how he was able to make his comeback there. So from my point of view, I think TibFuture made a comeback in that game. bike-RUsh in the start with his opening kind of failed, but he was able to make up for it with those Mechapedes, and somehow he got ahead of TibFuture, and TibFuture from there on was struggling to get back into the game because bike-RUsh was putting so much pressure onto him. So if we go onto the stats here, more or less, we got similar stats. Both sides got under 1.0 kill to death ratio. Favorite unit for bike-RUsh+ownz was the Seeker, while the Militant Rocket Squad was a favorite unit for TiberianFuture. Not much in it for resources again, and I think that's all she wrote. So I better wrap this one up. Thanks Phoenix for coming along and helping me VOD this game. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure as well.
And we'll be signing out right now, so yeah,
adios.
Peace out.